Self-acceptance is your key to success. And the only reason you would not be experiencing the kind of success that you want to have in your life is because you're not accepting yourself. And that self-acceptance is something that is an ongoing process, meaning that it happens throughout your life. But anytime that you are not feeling that you have what you want in your life, it's because you're not taking the steps to accept the next version of who you have become. And I can talk about that because that's what I'm doing today. I'm accepting the next version of who I have become. I'm 73 years old. I have a lot of different versions that I've moved through, but this is the most important one, and that's why I'm talking about it today. I was given something that I could give to others that can cause you to live your best life, that can cause you to have everything that you want in your life that was destined for you if you decide that you're going to accept who you are and move to that place of empowerment because it's always within you. Now, the only reason you wouldn't have done that previously is because you haven't known how to get there, but I know how to get there, and that's what I've developed. That's what I call your last development program. And I know that for any person, it'll take you to that higher place of who you're meant to be. Doesn't matter what you've done before, how much you've achieved, because there's still more, because we're unlimited. We're unlimited humans. And so when we take that next step, we will have everything that was destined for us, meaning your particular life path, your blueprint, your soul mission, because that's how I see it, because I know every human has one. And the only reason we don't experience it is because we've been programmed to believe we can't. So over time, we develop things as humans to learn how to develop. We've done it since the beginning of time. And then we give that to others, meaning that when certain people live, they discover things. We can think of all of our philosophers and scientists and doctors and researchers, all of those people who give us something that how can we live a better life? How can we improve? How can we understand things? How can we understand science? Well, then there's another aspect of that, which is called consciousness. And we all have that, except we also have a collective consciousness, meaning that we will believe certain things that exist in our world right now because of the established collective consciousness that exists. And then there are times when certain people come in and discover something else because of what they've lived, and then they can bring in a new consciousness, a higher state of consciousness where we can even live much better lives as humans. And that's what I was given. It took me a while to accept that because I wouldn't tell you that I was a mystic or a sage and didn't even know I was a prophet, meaning that I had received information that could cause that to happen for anyone during this time of transition in our world, which my guide Wilhelm has called a restructuring. See, I was given all that information, but I didn't accept it at first either, which is why I was having difficulty. Because when you don't accept who you are, when you're being shown and you can't accept who you've become, then you have difficulties in your life. Every experience, every difficulty or thing or tragedy or whatever you might be moving through in your life is only due to one aspect. And that is you don't want to take the next step to look at who you are and then accept what you discover. This is why you hear all the time that self-discovery is the most important thing and you have to take that journey. Well, I took that journey. I took a really difficult journey and went through every human challenge and horrible thing that you can imagine. But in the process, what it did was it gave me wisdom. It gave me knowledge that I can pass on to others, which has turned into a philosophy. I said that philosophy I was given was called Your Life Operating Instructions, but I've turned it into a program. But I haven't finished it, and that's what I'm doing now and why I'm talking about it, because I have to take the next step. And that program is going to be something that can transform you into who you're meant to be because that's unlimited again. Who knows what you're going to do with this? You will take this information, you'll develop something else, and then give it to others, and then our world evolves. That's how this works. But it took a while for me to accept it. But last night, I was receiving information, and my Wilhelm said, well, tomorrow's going to be a really important day, on July 29th. And I started looking at that and I said, oh, wow, that's really interesting. And you can see certain things, significant things have happened on that date over time. I've done this before. All the information that I've received has corresponded to energetic shifts that have happened in our world, that are happening with our planets. And I've written them all down. I didn't know I was doing that. I was collecting the information. But as a result of that, all of these years, for more than 35 years, what that did was heal my life and then move me beyond judgment. That's the thing that really gets us is self-judgment and then judgment of others. And that's what you're seeing in our world. You see, what I was told is that we were going to move through this big transition. And that means that we were each going to go through our individual ascension process, meaning we have to let go of all the old stuff, all the lower vibrational thinking and ideas and all of that we've had that have kept us sick and afraid and not knowing who we are. And then we put that into the world collectively, and then we have chaos. But see, we were supposed to change that now, and that's what I was given. The first message that I received in 2012, which they said, my guide said, this is when they gave me all the information I've been doing for so long. But in that particular year was when all this pertinent information came through about this time in our world now. The very first message said infinite intelligence, meaning that we all have it. We have infinite intelligence because it's always here, because consciousness never goes anywhere. It's just how much are we going to accept and utilize in our lives. And then at the end of the year, they gave me a message on December 31st, because they love using dates, because that's when we pay attention to things. You know, New Year's Eve, they said, you are creating the future. You are creating the future of the world. We all are. And when you read the message that I put on the site today, because they told me to go through and pick up all the July 29th messages and I put them together and you can read those. And I put it in something and I called your path to greatness, because that's what this work does. It guides you to your greatness. But they wanted me to show you that so you would understand. And then they also want me to get on with it. That's what we're all supposed to do, because we're going to move through some more energetic changes in our world. And if more of us are not loving ourselves and coming to a higher state of consciousness and understanding, then we don't have the kind of world that we want to live in. That's what we're going through. Everything that's occurring in the world, you can go back now and check this. I've recorded several videos. They're on my YouTube channel. Please check them out. If you haven't subscribed, please do that as well and share it with others. But if you go back the last several weeks, I put up several videos explaining the process of what I've gone through, what our world moves through, so you can understand what you might be experiencing. The things that are occurring in our world are not accidental. I was given all of that information, but as I've also said, I know it's challenging because you can't hear me because I'm receiving things precognitively. We operate in this linear time. When I receive messages, it's different than that. But it took me a while to accept that, because it was so shocking to me, even when I looked at what I was given today. But I want you to have it as well, because it's like kind of a PDF that's on the site, anyadvicefortoday.com, and it's called um, We Have Shown You a Path to Greatness. And I know that is true for every single person. And so the only reason you are not experiencing that is because you're not willing to move. And I understand it because I did that as well. And I've held back with my program for a while because I love everyone. I just said, maybe if everyone does this, but that's not going to happen. So August 1st, I'm cutting that off, and program's always going to be open, but it's going to be a very different rate, because I've got to kick back now. I've put so much into this, and I'm saying to you, this is the most, and I said to everyone, this is the most valuable thing that you could own. The only problem is I haven't finished it, but that's what I'm doing now. But I know it's the most valuable thing, because what happens is, and I have plenty of people who will tell you that that is true. And if you're not believing that, that means you're just really bumping into your resistance and the belief that you just can't get over, because I know that this work takes you there. And so you just have to decide if you're going to do it. And right now, it's actually affordable for anyone. That's the thing that people have been trying to talk me out of for the longest time. And I will make it more. But right now, it's affordable for any single person. And what I'm saying is that if you want to become your best self and live this great life and become and access your greatness, this work will do it. And it doesn't matter where it comes from. I've received this because it's cosmic consciousness that's connected to everyone. And this is why when I'm doing a channeling session, which I have another one coming up, you can come to that one. Or when I'm doing a private channeling session, it's the same thing. I can access your information because I can access consciousness. Now, again, I didn't know that was happening as I was creating all this work, but I also have proven the effectiveness of it because I have healed really things that no one thought was possible. You can do the same thing. Again, we're unlimited beings. We just have to become willing to take the next step. And that's what I'm doing today. But I hope you listen to read the little ebook, as I call it, and it's called Your Path to Greatness. But read all the things. Listen to my emails. But also, this is not new. I've been doing this for a long time and I've written about it all, but people just couldn't hear it all. So if you go to my website, rogerburnley.com, and read the articles, go back to all of them. Because if you go back to the earliest one in 2016, that's when I was starting to talk about the changes that we were going to experience in the world, but also in our lives. The only reason people are afraid now is because they don't understand how things are changing and energy. And I have that information. I've just held back a bit, but now that's going to be different because I have huge things that are coming out now that will reveal this a lot more. But it's the most gratifying thing in life is to be able to sit and know that you've created something that's going to make a difference in who knows, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. And that's what I know I've done. And I'm going to give it to all of those who want to access and become great. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who you are, it works for absolutely anyone. So check it all out, and I'll see you guys soon.